Hi, NAFI instructors. It's John Niehaus, Director of Program Development for the National Association of Flight Instructors. And I'd like to basically do a quick highlight video for a brand new partner that we're really excited about. And it's a company called Pilot Pipeline. Now, with me today is Brian O'Neill, and Brian is the CEO and co-founder of Pilot Pipeline. And Brian, welcome.
Thank you, John. Thanks for taking the time to set this call up. And we are very excited to start this new partnership with NAFI. I think we can do a lot of great things together.
Yeah, we're super excited too. And part of what we want to do here is just let everybody know what is Pilot Pipeline and what is it that you guys do? You want to give us a little bit of information?
Yeah, so Pilot Pipeline is an automated career management software for pilots of all different experience levels. So whether you have no experience or you've been flying, 1,500 hours, Pilot Pipeline can help just about everybody. So the way it works is when you sign up, you'll take a survey that asks for your experience level and your end goal. So let's say you have no experience and you want to fly for an airline. The software takes that information and creates a step-by-step career plan that outlines all of the steps you should take to get to where you want to go. And then within those steps, there's just a ton of great comprehensive information, study materials, all that great stuff that, will kind of get you from point A to point B and help you achieve your dreams.
So that's fantastic. As an instructor, I can actually kind of use this to help onboard students who have a career plan in mind. So if somebody comes to me and says, hey, I've got no flight time, what do I do? And you go, okay, well, first and foremost, I'll be your instructor. But here's the different steps to take, right? Here's how much we think it might cost, and all of that information. Is that how you envision that?
Yeah, so that's kind of how I see it working for flight instructors. It can ease the burden. New students are going to have a ton of questions, and obviously we all know that the aviation industry is very complex and difficult to navigate. So providing your students with this tool is really going to help them plan out what they need to do and help make the instructor's life a little bit easier as well. And you did mention the cost and time and all that good stuff. Everyone knows that the training is expensive and timely. Another feature that we just built out is our earnings forecaster. So based on a user's selection in the software, they'll see their estimated costs for training, the time it should take them to get to their dream job, and then based on a retirement age, their potential earnings along their entire career. So really that kind of helps us with our vision, which is to lower the barrier to entry in aviation, allowing students to see that this is going to cost a lot of money. It's going to take a lot of time, but you can earn a lot of money as a pilot throughout your whole career.
Yeah, it kind of takes some of the guesswork out of it, gives them sort of the goal posts to measure themselves with and where they want to go. Now, as far as instructors are concerned, so if I'm an instructor already, and we just talked about how that might benefit showing or onboarding a new student, what would it do for somebody who wants to use the system as an instructor?
So as an instructor, kind of like I mentioned earlier, this platform has been designed for anyone at any point. Really, it's just a very comprehensive career plan for anybody, whether you're a CFI or a new student. We can kind of help you.
Yeah, so it's interesting. A lot of people struggle with if they go to college, what major to associate themselves with. Well, you get into aviation and you go, okay, this is what I want to do, and then all of a sudden, sort of the doors open and you realize, well, there's a lot of different things to do. There is corporate, there is flight instruction, there is owning your own flight school, there is going to the airlines. So for those that thought the hard part was just deciding that aviation was their thing, now the hard part is figuring out, well, what part of aviation is your thing?
Yeah, definitely. And then what we kind of pride ourselves on is we don't tell you what to do. So when you make your selections in the survey, we give you options. So it's not like you need to do this job, but there obviously are some things that you have to do, like getting your private pilot and things like that. But when it comes to job selection and flight school selection, we kind of help you narrow down your choices and say, these are all the choices. These are the ones that probably fit you best. And we allow users to make well-informed decisions that will kind of put them on the most optimal career path.
Mm-hmm. Now, I believe from spending time in the system myself, when you guys talk about pilot pipeline, you've actually kind of taken that to heart, right? Because in your system, you've actually created what you call a pipeline. Tell me a little bit about that.
So the pipeline is not yet complete, but it is our main goal in the development side of things. So what we want to do is build a very large aviation community filled with, pilots of all different experience levels. And next on our agenda is to begin partnering with different employers, whether it's airlines or charter companies, organizations like NAFI. And we want to give our users more options. Instead of just information, we want to help them get connected with where they want to go. So if you want to get to NAFI, Pilot Pipeline will show you the way. If you want to fly for JetBlue, we want you to be able to apply through our portal that we're currently building out. And then we're also going to work with the airlines to make recruiting and hiring much easier, because that's really a space in the industry that hasn't been innovated on in a long time. Mm-hmm. So we want to have our platform filled with highly qualified pilots. And then we want to connect employers and pilots just to make the process extremely seamless and less complicated than it is now.
Mm-hmm. Now, and on top of the cost estimator, you also have a way of helping fulfill those costs, right? You have your scholarship database. Tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah, so that was never really on our roadmap, but as we were building out different features, we had our users reaching out saying, hey, this is all great, but how do I finance all of this? Because training can be really expensive.
Right.
And after doing some digging, we found that there are a ton of aviation scholarships out there, but they're pretty hard to find, if you're just on Google or something like that. You could spend hours and maybe find 5 scholarships that you want to apply to, and there's no guarantee that you're going to get it. So what we did is, after weeks of combing through the internet and finding these scholarships, we put them in a filterable and sortable tool where a user can come in, they can filter based on their demographic information, their location, any organization that they might be associated with, and what ratings that they want this scholarship to apply to. And the system will output the scholarships that meet those needs and will fit that user's needs. And then there's just a link with all of those scholarships straight to the application. So we really want to help new students and existing pilots find financing for flight training, because that's a huge hurdle right now.
Well, like you said, you're trying to figure out ways to solve that barrier to entry, and entry, like you said, can be at the beginning, or it could just be entry into whatever your new path might be. So for all levels, that's really cool. So in terms of the system itself, what does the cost structure look like, and what does it look like for NAFI members?
So the cost structure for Pilot Pipeline, we have a free level and a premium level. So the free level gives you access to the career planner, which I think is our most powerful feature, right? The one that we spoke about earlier, where you put in your goals and your experience and you get your step-by-step plan. So that's completely free to everybody. And then the scholarship finder, which we just spoke about, that's within the premium level. The premium level is $99 per year, which comes out to about $833 a month. But if you are a member of NAFI, we're offering a 50% discount code, just because, NAFI is a great organization. We really want to help out the members. So that's a pretty significant decrease in cost right there.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And through conversations that we've had, it sounds like you guys are continuously adding new services and systems to both the free and the paid side of your membership.
Yes. So we recently also added in our timeline assistant. So that falls under the premium category as well. And how that works is, let's say a user is at the stage where they need to get their private pilot certificate. They can add that event to their timeline assistant and say, okay, I want to achieve this by, November of 2021. And then the timeline assistant will show you every sub-step and, basically everything you need to do to get your private pilot certificate, and we'll put a date associated with it saying, okay, you need to find your flight school by this date. Your next step you need to do by this date. It really just helps users keep track of everything they need to do to achieve the one goal at hand. Instead of looking at, I want to get to this job by this time, it's, one step at a time, get that done, and then, move on to your instrument and put that in your timeline assistant and just go through the process until you're all done.
So if NAFI members have a student who wants to participate in something like that, are you saying that you encourage them to use the discount if their students purchase the premium?
Yeah, so I think this is a great tool for students of NAFI flight instructors. And I would encourage using premium, especially for the scholarship finder. I think that is an extremely powerful tool. So I think if you're very serious about getting to your dream job, it's worth $50 for a year to find that financing, get that career plan, and really hit the ground running with your training.